Hello YouTube, it's Si here from Si Moto Photo. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a gorgeous day at the start of April in Scotland, and I've got my hands on this lovely Triumph Speed Triple RR. Now this is a bike that's kind of divided opinion with the look of the bike. It's a look that it seems to not be for everyone. I think it looks spectacular, but you know, I think it looks, there's lots of pictures of this bike going about in the red paint colour. I think this bike looks at its best in this white, crystal white metallic. It's just beautiful. I can't tell you how amazing the kit is in this bike. It's dripping in carbon fibre. It's really top quality components on it. So I'm going to take you for a ride and we're going to see what this bike actually rides like. Right, so looks aside, because I know that some of you are going to really love the styling of this bike and some of you aren't going to love the styling of this bike. It seems to be quite a divisive styling that the Triumph have gone with on this bike. But looks aside, let's talk about how this bike rides. It's got electronic Öhlins EC2 suspension on it, and I've got it set up in road mode here. I know I've done a few hours on the bike today because I wanted to get a few hours under my belt before I actually started opening my gob about how it rode. But it's in road mode and it's so smooth, it's lovely. It's got a firmness about it, but it's certainly not juddery. It's not juddery in the slightest. You've got real lovely road feel coming through in the seat of your pants and in the bars, and it handles a dream. It turns in so lovely. It's just typical Öhlins. So you're working your way up to the front end. You've got your Brembo styling calipers that are on this, and you know, as everybody knows, these are the cream of the crop at the minute, and the feel through the brake lever is outstanding. They've got immense stopping power, but the most impressive thing about them is the feel. It's the feel through the lever. You just know exactly what's going on with the brakes. They're a dream actually, and I really wish I had these on my own bike, but I don't. It's got a super comfortable seat, and it's got a tank it's quite sculpted, the tank, so your knees fit right into the tank. The seat's really comfortable, you could sit on it for days. It's got a 15.5 litre tank, so you're going to get a good range out of the bike as well. You're probably talking sort of 120, 130 miles out of the tank. Maybe even more than that, depending on how you ride, to be honest. The quick shifter on the bike is absolute butter smooth, up and down. The lever, to be fair, is a wee bit close to the bike. So when I first got on the bike, I felt as if I was shoving my toes right in against the bike, but you soon get used to it. It's just muscle memory with a new bike, obviously. But I think the USP with this bike, the bike is, you know, it's not got 200 horsepower, so you're not in the willy waving club where you can, you know, you've got bragging rights about your bike having, you know, plus 200 horsepower. But if you concentrate on that with this bike, you're missing the point. The bike's got 180 PS, so I think that translates to about 178 horsepower, and that is plenty for the road. But the sort of most impressive feature in this bike, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the new BMW S1000RR, so that bike has got 113 Newton meters of torque, and Ducati's Panigale V4, the new one, that has 123 Newton meters of torque, and this Speed Triple RR has got 125 newton meters of torque, and it's such a smooth, flat torque curve. It's giving you torque all the way through the revs, and that's what makes it really impressive to ride. You know, and if you're dead set concentrating on this 200 horsepower thing, then yeah, you'll probably walk past this bike. But if you can think outside the box a little bit and look for a bike that is going to be give you more usable power, more accessible power, and you know, with it being a triple, it's predominantly, you know, mid-range where you notice that extra newton meters of torque. It's a joy on the road.
The Speed Triple RR, dripping with, you know, real high quality kit. You know, just want to point out a few things that this bike has that sort of elevate it to, you know, among the best out there at the minute. Your Brembo style Lima calipers, these 4-pot 320mm discs. The brakes are out of this world. You know, one finger feel. They're so confidence inspiring, those brakes. You know, they just don't get any better on a road bike. You've got your Rollins EC2 electronic suspension up front here, with your Kashima coating on the fork stanchions. It just shows you the quality of these forks, and there's an infinite adjustment in the dashboard, so you can really dial in, you know, what feel you're getting through the suspension on the bike, or how plush or how hard the suspension is, how reactive it is. It's got carbon fibre mudguard, carbon fibre infills here underneath your nose cone, carbon fibre infills in your tank, underneath the tank. You've got carbon fibre at your radiator cowls. You know, look at the kit that's on this bike. You've got LED lights front and rear. You've got LED indicators. You know, it really is just super, super high quality. You've got your Rollins EC2 electronic on the back as well, so you can really dial that in. And you've got your single-sided swing arm here with your black painted rear wheel, and that just looks absolutely lush. The bike's running on super Corsa tyres, just to cut, it's a statement of intent almost from Triumph, just, you know, to give you that added grip when you're on the roads. Once these tyres have got a little bit of heat in them, there's pretty much nothing like them on the road. They really are special. And the seat that's on the bike, with an 830mm ride height or seat height, the seat's really plush, and at me it being 6 foot tall, I'm flat footed on both sides. The bike's got 199kg wet weight, and that is you know, really light for a 1200cc bike, and it shows when you're putting it in and out of bends. It's effortless. It goes around those bends effortless. You've got a full colour display, 5-inch TFT, and you've got, you know, loads and loads of adjustment in there. You can get and dial in your rider modes. You can dial in your suspension settings. You know, you can tailor it up to suit yourself. You've got the Triumph Bluetooth connectivity app, comes as standard with this bike. So you just download the app on your phone, and it gives you turn-by-turn navigation. It gives you, you know, your music, your phone, everything all controlled through the dashboard. The bike's even got cruise control, and all your buttons here on the cockpit up at the bars are all backlit as well at night, so you've got, you know, some really good visibility on the buttons. You know, I know that over time, memory, you know, you get muscle memory and you know where all the buttons are, but it still looks nice with all the buttons all lit up at night. You can see them, just, you know where everything is. It's superb.
You know, this little bit of fairing at the front here, it gives you just that little bit of added wind protection that you don't get on the RS. And I think, you know, the two big differences between this bike and the RS, because they're pretty much the same bike in terms of, you know, the engine and the horsepower and the frame and all that stuff, but I think, you know, this is giving you that little bit of added wind protection, and it's also giving you the clip-on bars that pull you sort of down more into the bike, so that this wind protection that the screen's offering you is actually being effective. It backfires on the down change with the quick shifter. It's just dreamy. You're right, the clip-on bars on the bike, they're actually, I mean, I've not ridden a sports bike for quite a while, and as many of you will know that have watched the channel for a bit now, I'm a bit of a sport bike nut. I love my sport bikes. I've had numerous sport bikes over the years, and I've always got a soft spot for sport bikes. I love them. But this, to me, I had a 2019 BMW S1000RR, and the riding position very much reminds me of that bike. It's not extreme, it's a bit more comfortable, I had a 2016 R1 and I felt that was really you know, uncompromising. The riding position on it, I felt as if I was really on my riffs on that bike, and I'm not feeling that with this. I feel that it's quite a comfortable bike to sit on, but the way it takes a corner, the front end is just telepathic. You know, I mentioned that, you know, the torque difference between this and the Panigale. All I'm doing is sort of making a point about, you know, a reference point in terms of how, you know, how torquey the bike is. But I think if you know, this isn't to compete with those, but it's a different type of bike. It's oozing with style. It's a classy bike, and it's a bike that, you know, if you want to think a wee bit differently and get something that's a bit different from, you know, from the rest of the crowd, you know, have a look at this, have a go on it, because if you have a go on this bike, I'm sure it'll blow your socks off at how nice it is to ride. They do two different colours in this bike. They do it in the red, Carnival Red, and they do it in this crystal white, and this is my favourite. It's a really nice, lovely sunny day today in Glasgow, or in Scotland, and this paintwork is sparkling its head off in the sunshine. I love this colour, and I said that when I did the review of the Street RRR. If you've not seen that one, have a look at it. I love that bike as well, but this crystal white colour, it does it for me. It's really nice. You know, I have swapped between the modes on this. I've ridden it in sport and I've ridden it in road, and the sport definitely does firm up the bike. It firms the suspension up quite a bit, to be honest. I've not ridden the RS, so I can't really compare, but I'm looking forward to riding it so that I can give you a comparison. But from what people are telling me, the RS is quite set up quite hard. And somebody who is riding an RS told me that the sport mode in this bike kind of pretty much feels like the standard setup in the RS. Well, I think it's okay. The sport mode is okay, but the great thing is there's lots of adjustment. You can go into the dash and you can actually soften or hard the suspension up to make it more suited to whatever you want. And when you soften the suspension right off, it is really quite compliant actually. The peg position on the bike, it's not too extreme. You have got it's not too extreme. The pegs, you know, your legs are I've got quite a bit of room. As I say, I'm 6 foot and I'm a big lad, and I feel as if I've got okay room in the bike. I'm not squeezed up. My legs have got plenty of breathing space. This is just lovely to ride. The triple engine that they're using in this bike, oh my god, it's the induction noise it makes, the power, the usable power, it's just it's a dream, honestly. We'll do a roll-on test. I'll let you hear this induction noise. You might not be able to pick it up so well on this wee GoPro microphone. Right, listen to this for a pickup. Listen to this induction noise. It's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I could listen to that all day. You know, in terms of value for money, these things are amazing. You know, these things came out and they were 18,000 plus, 18,250 for this, for the red one, 17,995 for this white one, and you can pick them up. You can get a phenomenal deal. We've got one in the shop. It's a 71 reg. I think it's a 2022 71. It's got 1,000 miles on it. It's red in colour, and the bike's 12,250. I mean, what kind of bike? What bikes are out there with the kit that this has got on it for that kind of money? I mean, it's phenomenal value for money. It's so compliant. I'm not getting bounced about out of the seat, and this road's not the best. It's dealing with Scottish roads better than any other sport bike I've ridden. It's just that bit more compliant. As I say, I've got it in road mode, and it's just lovely. These brakes are not, honestly, it's one finger feel. One finger and you can feel everything that's going on with the brake lever or the brake pads. A big 320mm disc in the front, big twin disc, and it's such a confidence inspiring bike. Do you know what, I love this. Dare to think that wee bit different. Have a look at this, what a bike you'll get yourself. And you know, just because of the scarcity in numbers, I'm convinced this thing's going to just get better and better and better with age. You know, it's going to be one of those bikes that people look back on and think, what a bike that was. What a bike. Stand out from the crowd a wee bit with something like this.
So the Speed Triple 1200RR, what did I think of it? I thought it was a really, really nice bike to ride. The electronic suspension is the USP in this bike. You know, when you've got it in road mode, it's so compliant, it's so smooth, and you can get in, you can dial it in a wee bit to soften it or harden it if it's not to your liking when you're riding the bike. The leg position on the bike's quite nice for the type of bike that it is. Your rear sets are slightly set back, more than they are on the RS. So you've got, you know, I feel as if I've got a wee bit more room in my legs on this bike. The tank, the way the tank's shaped, your legs just sit right in here in the tank, and with this little bit of fairing at the front, and the way that you're sort of sitting in this bike, it's just enough to push the wind up and over you, so you're not quite as exposed as you are on a naked bike. I just think this bike is a gorgeous bike to look at, and I know not everyone thinks the same. It's very subjective about what you think of this bike. But you know, if you come and ride this bike, if you get a test ride in this bike, get a chance to take it out and put it through its paces, I think you'll love it. It really is something to behold to ride. The triple engine that's in this bike is a masterpiece. It is so nice to ride. The torque, the creamy torque that it has, makes it such a usable bike on the road. But I've loved it. It's been fantastic. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the channel. You know, a big shout out to the guys at West Coast Triumph for giving me these bikes, access to these bikes to take them out and give them a ride. Without these guys, I wouldn't be able to do these reviews. As always, if you stick it in the comments, if you've got anything you want to see me test and take out and put through its paces next time round, I've got access to pretty much all the Triumph range, and I can also get some access to Harley Davidson bikes as well. So if you've got anything in particular you want to see me taking out, stick it in the comments, and if you've liked the video, please give it a like, and if I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Moto Photo, and I'll catch you in the next video.